And we really must thank Disney Cruise Lines for that, because they actually became a part of our team. We visited the Ops Committee for the FCCA and on their urging, and they partnered significantly. BVIPorts Authority is a partner with them, so we got access to them through the Ports Authority, and that worked like a dream. They came and told us, here's where you got to look at first, here's where you got to focus, this is what you need to do. And a lot of it was like taking medicine, but we had to do that. And that proves our resilience, that we rolled back 1 year later. But if only to underpin that point, a couple of years later, along comes COVID-19. And through COVID-19, many countries didn't quite understand it. Many countries closed their borders, including ours. And so cruise passengers were not able to come. But through the ports was able to be visionary in that respect. They organized what we call warm layups with Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. And through those warm layups, we got people accustomed to seeing a cruise ship on the dock. So even though it was a COVID day, no physical touches or anything, and then we learned the do's and don'ts associated with how to keep your people safe. Followed all the health protocols that were associated with it. And now we have again arisen because of our resilience from the COVID-19 pandemic to a place now where we're seeing 1.2 thousand cruise passengers forecast to visit us. Yeah.
So it's definitely demonstrated that, and I've heard you talk about the lessons.
Yes.
But if you had to identify specific, well, I'll leave it open. Any one or two that stood out to you, lessons that maybe other island destinations can learn from us, what would those be?
The lessons I believe, the key lesson learned, I think, was through collaboration. So we use international collaboration with FCCA and the cruise lines. Through that, we were able to have schools donated, for instance, to Virgin Gorda by one cruise line. Through that affiliation, we were able to have Disney guide us back to health. And then we were able to use local collaboration to implement the plan that we did. You remember I mentioned we had a multifaceted group.
Yes.
That multifaceted group included people from all the ministries. So we had the health ministry, we had solid waste, we had communication and works. And wherever we were told, call whichever resource you need to get this thing back on the road. And we had very good coordination. It speaks as well to how we work in the BVI. We do not have a FEMA to reach out to like some other places.
Right.
And so we rely on our own initiatives, our own cooperation, our own collective strength, because together we're stronger. And through that collaboration, we're stronger today.
So that's the lesson, and that's the key. Collaboration.
Local collaboration
word.
To make sure that you can implement whatever is good for the territory. International collaboration to make sure that once you implement the local lessons learned, the local things, that the international entities will come back quickly.
Excellent. So let's focus a bit on the future now. What can we look ahead for, or the next chapter of the Tortola Pier Pack?
We recently done a strategic plan in the Pier Pack to take us to the period 2026 to 2030. And that strategic plan literally charts the way for us in the future. So let's just look at a few things in that. One, the new trend for cruise lines is towards a greener environment. So cruise lines now want to do greener things. In concert with that and in keeping with that, what we're doing is we're doing a major solar photovoltaic project. In short, what that does is it allows us to put solar cells on our roofs and generate electricity. We're doing this in consultation with BVIPorts Authority and in consultation with BVI Electricity Corporation to do that. And that eases the pressure on the grid, the electricity grid. But more than that, it allows us to reduce the carbon footprint for the territory. And we may, I'm hoping that we become the first green cruise port within the region. And the project is already on the way. We split it 2 phases. One phase this year involves some buildings and will generate about 50% of the power that's required, and the next 50% next year. We're doing it during the season where we have less cruise passengers, so that we have as little interference as possible in that industry. That's just one facet.
Testing.
In addition to that, we're looking at making sure we implement recycling within the facility itself in concert with that. So that makes us a truly green facility. In addition to that, we're looking to make sure we can expand the cruise footprint, because we're looking to, for instance, bring Anegada into play. Anegada has not been into play with cruise passengers because of the way it is, how far it is. But one of the things we've baked into our strat plan is to have a seaplane land at the Pier Park, take cruise passengers and locals alike across to Anegada multiple times a day, and so you can do a tour of Anegada. Cruise passengers, we know, we've learned historically, do not like to take trips more than 15-20 minutes. But seaplane going to Anegada is going to be 15-20 minutes. And same way, you could, if you're in Alaska, you could land on a glacier.
Yes.
You can go to Anegada, you can land, and that will help Anegada to get developed, help the tourism product to get developed as well. And that brings Anegada into play in terms of making sure you encourage local entrepreneurship. We're also looking at a vacant lot we have there called Lot 5 to use that as a means of facilitating what we call home porting. You may ask me, what is home porting?
Yes.
So home porting is where you can start a cruise and end a cruise. At the moment, our port doesn't initiate or end a cruise. But through home porting, we can actually start a cruise, say, on a Sunday and end the cruise on a Saturday. And if we were able, on that vacant lot, to put, let's say, a hotel or a multifaceted thing, you'll have more hotel rooms, say, on the top. You can have meeting rooms there, and you can have establishments on the ground floor. Then we can expand the park while doing all of this. But more importantly, by doing home porting, we also create new streams of opportunities for locals, because there will be opportunities, for instance, to do provisioning.
Yes.
There'll be opportunities to deal with waste from the ship. There'll be opportunities to deal with powering the ships.
Like we do with the yacht.
Exactly.
Yes.
And there are so many opportunities that can be created. And we're just waiting until the time is right that we can actually do that. But through the strat plan, that is in the plan, the 5-year plan. So we're hoping that within that 5-year plan, this can happen. We're also looking at how we can actually expand the facility to encourage mega yachts as well. To come in and do that as well. And even the seaplane service we spoke about, we understand that there is demand and interest in the North Sound area. Some of the passengers who may want to come and do a fam trip in the Pier Park and do some shopping.
Right.
We can easily pick them up and drop them off.
And take them back.
Yes.
Well, all of that sounds really exciting, and I'm actually looking forward to the seaplane in particular.
Yes.
And I'm also looking forward to the home porting opportunity as well.
Yep.
I think there will be 2 good wins for us as a territory to continue to stimulate the economy in many ways.
Therein lies the beauty about what BVIPorts has done in terms of the vision in creating this facility, because it doesn't stand still. It has to grow. And it is growing. And you can see it's growing in a way which perhaps the founders initially never expected.
Didn't think about.
But there's so much more in the strategic plan, that helps us from a visionary point of view to stay ahead of most of the other ports within the region as well, because as a territory with multiple areas, we want to bring a lot of sister islands into play and make sure everyone can get a piece of the pie even though the main cruise facility is on Tortola.
It's on Tortola because we have some beautiful smaller keys
Absolutely.
that they can visit, even if it's just a few hours.
Yes.
Take some nice selfies
That's right.
and tag us back when they post them on.
And showcase the BVI.
Yes,
Showcase the
yes.
Virgin Islands as it truly is the most beautiful place on earth.
Absolutely. Well, Vance, this was really good chatting with you on the Tortola Pier Park, its history, accomplishments, and also to let us know where we're going in the future, and we're excited about that. But if you had to sum it all up, what does the Pier Park mean to the future of the Virgin Islands? If you had to sum it all up in a sentence.
If you ask me to sum it up in one word, I'll say it is key. Key being the operative word, right? But I will just say that the BVI, as we know, has got the offshore financial sector and tourism as its main economic pillars. And the Cyril Romney Tortola Pier Park, as an extension to the dock, is one of the significant footings in the cruise tourism pillar. Okay. Through that lens, other areas can continue to flourish, but we're pretty sure that cruise tourism is going to be there for a long time to come. Through that cruise tourism, a lot of our other industries and residents can actually benefit. A lot of the vendors, for instance, trading. We're bringing trading in, but we're not just training the people in the Pier Park. We are working with National Parks Trust and the BVI Tourist Board to make sure that vendors everywhere in the territory can get properly trained.
And our customer service standards will be maintained very high.
And that's another facet as well of the strategic plan. We want to make the Pier Park a center of customer service excellence. And it starts with training. So we're going to have a continuous regime of training, but it's going to benefit the people of the territory. And all of this is basically through the lens of a vision created by virtue of BVIPorts Authority.
Excellent, and that's a great note for us to wrap up today's conversation. I think one thing is very clear, that the Cyril B. Romney Tortola Pier Park represents more than infrastructure. It represents opportunity for business, for our culture, and for the continued growth of our Virgin Islands. On behalf of BVIPorts Authority, Vance, I want to thank you for stopping in and being a part of our Portside Conversations today.